Welcome to our second energy transition talk. My name is Nadja Müller. I'm working for the communication team of Siemens Energy, and it's my absolute pleasure to have Simona Rossetti with me on stage.
Thank you.
Simona is heading our control and digitalization team of Region Europe and Africa in gas services, so the unit which focuses on power generation. Thank you, Kai. Simona has more than 20 years experience in the power business, has done several things already, and I'm more than delighted to talk today with her about how your decarbonization journey can be accelerated through digitalization. So Simona, give us please some insight. How can we accelerate the journey by digitalization?
Yes, thank you, Nadia, and welcome everyone. So first of all, I would say that digitalization can really accelerate decarbonization in many ways. First of all, utilizing control system and digital solution can help customers to utilize less fuel and increase efficiency while operating the power plant. This is reducing the amount of CO2 and emission in the atmosphere. Additionally, we can add all the data and the operational data into artificial intelligence, and we can add that into the operation and maintenance. This can make the life of our operator much easier and simplify their life. So they are doing a more efficient job while being on the power plant. And additionally, one thing that we see is the addition of renewable into the grid. So we need to have a bigger flexibility when operating fossil power plant. And this is exactly when digitalization comes in and help us in introducing and increasing the decarbonization and the renewable energy into the grid. So as you can see, a lot of possibility, and digitalization is really increasing the decarbonization in many ways, from the flexible, introducing more renewable into the grid, and also reducing all the CO2 emission that we have in the atmosphere.
Thanks. And I think also digitalization can help to increase efficiency of the plants we have. How can you do that? What is the mechanism behind increasing efficiency by digitalization?
Okay, very, very nice. So let's talk about hardware first of all. So we need to have the most efficient and up-to-date hardware. Secondly, with software, we can be much smarter. If you think about your car, and when you chip tune your car, it's the same what you can do with our solution. So we have our efficiency solution and optimization solution that can really make the difference. For example, I would like to give you an example. In the Atlas Iskenderun power plant in Turkey, we had a fossil power plant producing 1.2 gigawatt of energy. The customer wanted to reduce our CO2. So what we did is introducing the performance optimization solution into the power plant. This was making possible to reduce the minimum load fuel consumption and increase the flexibility when starting the power plant. Of course, the flexibility was increased by 40%, which means that the CO2 emission and the fuel consumption was much less than before. So Atlas Iskenderun was able to reduce the amount of CO2 emission and was able also to increase into the grid the renewable solution. Additionally, I would like to mention also the OmniWise asset management. So this is a platform that we use for our customer to give the possibility to introduce in their operational round more insights about the complete assets that they have. So it's a one single platform that can introduce different kind of asset into it. You can install into your power plant, and we also foresee the possibility to introduce and integrate all other OEM solutions into it. While doing that, the operator can work much faster and much smarter, and we can also utilize this for remote operation. If I speak about remote operation, we can also talk about autonomous power plants. Autonomous power plants is where we are going through. If we look at the challenges of our customer, we see that much more renewable are coming into the grid, so we need more flexibility when operating the power plant, but also we have a shortage in the personnel that is able to operate and maintain this power plant. And this is exactly when we can kick in with our solution of the autonomous power plant. Autonomous power plant doesn't start actually with a click. We start way before, because we introduce in the power plant many sensors, microphones, and also robots that collect different information. They put all the information in one platform that can be actually analyzed remotely by our operator, and they can operate different power plants remotely from one location. So the autonomous power plant is becoming a reality.
And it sounds really, really interesting. Imagining countries like Australia, where you have so many vast areas with power plants. You said the energy landscape is changing. We have more and more renewables kicking in, so we need flexibility, definitely. And you see our colleagues from Gamesa right there.
Correct.
And I think it puts a lot of pressure on the fossil-fired power plants to provide this flexibility and to actually come around with this increased things. And how can we do this? And how can this digital control system really help with solving this challenge?
Correct, yes. This is a really good question, and it's exactly as you say. With more and more renewable, we need to be more flexible and more agile into the operation of the fossil fuel. This is why Siemens Energy introduced the OmniWise T3000 control system, which is a system which is scalable and can be utilized for controlling the fossil fleet, but also all decentralized units and microgrid and data center. We have also on our booth a presentation of the SCADA solution of the T3000, and I will give you two examples when we integrated the T3000 system to increase the decarbonization. For example, in Mannheim, with the MVV, we installed a big heat pump. A heat pump that is utilizing 7 megawatts of electrical power, converting it in 20 megawatts of thermal power, and this is used to reheat the flow of the thermal district heating of the city of Mannheim. Mannheim wants to become CO2 neutral into the district heating in 2030, and this is how we are going to help them. The heat pump will be in operation by the 2023, so this fall we are just installing it, and after that, of course, we install the control system. So we are introducing new process, functional blocks, and logics there, so that we can integrate the heat pump into the control system of the GKM power plant seamless. Another possibility to integrate also decarbonization and renewable energies into an existing power plant is what we did in Donaustadt in Austria with our customer Wien Energy. In this power plant we have F gas turbine, and Donaustadt and Wien Energy wanted to reduce the CO2 of the plant. So we decided on a pilot together also with the customer to introduce hydrogen fuel, and we didn't only change the mechanical component like the combustion chamber and also the blades, but also we introduced the control system OmniWise T3000. We introduced seamless integration into the fossil power plant, and additionally new process automation for the hydrogen combustion. And this was another example of how digitalization can support our customer with an installed fleet in introducing more decarbonized solution into their assets.
Thank you for that. And integrated data management, you said it will provide better insights, better transparency, as in the example you just outlined, and better transparency to predict the future. So how can the customer use these data, which is generated, big data, to really optimize his power plant and accelerate his decarbonization journey?
Exactly. So we have, as you said, a large amount of data existing already in power plant. How could it be if we could take all the data and have them at the fingertip? So what we are doing, and predict the future actually. So what we are doing with our customer is taking all this information and we utilize them to predict the future for his assets. This is the so-called asset care program. So we are taking care of all the assets of the customer, analyzing them, introducing artificial intelligence algorithm, and producing a possible future service for them, which means that they can drastically reduce the service intervals and the services that are not needed, which means more efficiency in their operation and less fuel consumption. Additionally, as we see, more renewable are coming into the grid. So for the dispatcher, it's also very important to understand how can I dispatch my different assets in a more viable way, introducing even more renewable energy. As we know, when solar is shining and wind is blowing, so we have renewable energy, they have priority into our grid. So they need to be utilized. And this is exactly what our energy management suite is doing. We are using artificial intelligence there and predicting algorithm to predict exactly the weather forecast and understand when we need to dispatch which asset. This means that the dispatcher can have a short term, an intraday, and a dispatching for tomorrow that is exactly the best operation and introducing the most renewable energy into the grid. And this is really something that Siemens Energy can demonstrate. We try always to utilize the fleet that we have, introducing as many renewable as possible so that the customer can utilize the fleet and reduce their CO2 emissions.
Simona, we cannot talk about big data without talking about cybersecurity as well. So how do we ensure the customer's data, which we collect and gather, how do we ensure that the customer can trust that his data is safe and secure with us?
Yes, exactly, because energy assets are critical assets, so there is no cybersecurity. There is no asset that cannot be cyber secured. So as I already said, our OmniWise T3000 system is absolutely cyber secure. Is certified by TÜV through the highest industrial communication degree, and is really reliable in a way that we can not only provide the state-of-the-art hardware, but also software patches that can avoid any cyber attack. Additionally, our customer would like to have services which we can provide through our cybersecurity operations center, which is based here in Germany. We have also one in America, one in Asia. So it's really around the world a 24/7 in-depth security that we can offer our customer. Additionally, we develop also a cloud solution, because imagine all the amount of this big data that we have can be analyzed in the cloud, and we have a partnership with Amazon Web Services to analyze this data in the cloud and then detect possible attacks before they happen. So this is a very high value add for our customers and for especially for our CISO, that can really predict the cyber attack before they happen. So we are able with Siemens Energy cybersecurity to make the asset of our customer really cyber secure to support the critical infrastructure of the energy solutions.
Thank you, Simona, for this very nice overview about how to accelerate the journey to decarbonization with and through digitalization. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from the audience? I would just leave the floor open for some questions. 1, 2, 3, counting. Thank you again, Simona.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your attention. Thank you so much.